All right, to use Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared, we look at a particular right angle triangle. Now this only works for right angle triangles. So you have to see that 90 degrees there. If there's not a 90 degree triangle, Pythagorean theorem will not work. Okay, so it's only for right angled triangles. And this is a good way to check if a triangle is right angled. If it is, if the Pythagorean theorem works, then it is right angled, and if it doesn't, then it's not. So pretend I give you these measurements, 3 centimeters, 4 centimeters, and an unknown number of centimeters. So we always start by labeling our sides first. Now the side we can always label is going to be the side diagonal from the 90 degrees. So if I go diagonally from the 90 degrees, that is always going to be side C. Always, okay? It's known as the hypotenuse. It's the longest side on a triangle, and it's always across from 90 degrees. The other two sides, they can be labeled A or B. It doesn't matter. You can interchange them, right? Then the next thing we're going to do is go, okay, now we got to fill these numbers in for our formula. So my A is going to be A squared. Okay, well, my A is 3, so it's going to be 3 squared, plus my B is 4. Okay, so it's going to be 4 squared equals, and then we don't have C, so we're going to leave it as it is. Now 3 squared means 3 times 3, which is 9. 4 squared means 4 times 4, which is 16, and that's going to give us C squared. Now 9 plus 16 gives us 25. That's going to equal C squared. But remember, C squared is the area of a shape. We want the side length, okay? We want the length of that hypotenuse. We don't want the area attached to that hypotenuse. So how would we go backwards when we're going from area to a side length? Well, to go backwards to figure out what number times itself gives me 25, we're going to square root it. When we square root 25, we get 5, and that's going to give us C. So now this side length that was unknown, that's going to be 5 centimeters. Right? And that's how we'd get that unknown. Now, if I give it to you in a different way, I did this way. I said this is 3 centimeters, this is 5 centimeters. What is this side length? We still use our formula the same way. And I label my side, so diagonal from the 90 degrees is C. These can be either one, so I'm going to say that's A, that's B. Okay, and then I fill in my formula. So A was 3, so 3 squared, plus B, well, B we don't know, so we're going to leave that one as B squared. And C is going to be 5, so 5 squared. 3 squared is 3 times 3, which is 9. B squared is still unknown. And 5 squared is 5 times 5, which is 25. Now, what we're basically saying is 9 plus something gives me 25. Now, we talked about this as a fact family. If I'm trying to figure out 9 plus something gives me 25, I can go the other way. I can go 25 minus 9. That's going to give me something. I can do the opposite. So when I do that, 25 minus 9, I'm going to get 16. So this unknown is going to be 16. So what that means is this unknown here, B squared, is going to equal 16. Now we're almost done. Again, B squared represents the area. So that means there are 16 squares inside of this rectangle, and we want to know what's the side length of each side. Now they have to be the same measurement. So to do that, I'm going to take the square root of 16, and B would give me 4 centimeters. And that's how we calculate using Pythagorean theorem.